V'Yirenu Seagate. So this week, someone sent me a recording of a Rabbi Gibbs, who gives a constant shiur. And as a drummer for the shiur, I guess the whole level wasn't there. I'd like to have in our same situation. So you heard of the Steve Jobs Masan? No. So he repeated a savur of Steve Jobs, who was the CEO of Apple.
Founder.
The founder of Apple Computer. And I was thinking, Taka, why do they call it Apple? It's a das. The picture of an apple, it's a das. I guess it's a das. Knowledge. But now it's more ra than toy, unfortunately. So I decided, you know what? I have to make some impression. So we will. Oh wow! So I printed it out and I said, "I'd like to read it." It's basically it's a takeoff on Shlomo Melech's Kehelis Hevel Avodim. And Steve Jobs writes as before he passed away, "I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. In other people's eyes, my life is the epitome of success. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, my wealth is only a fact of life that I'm accustomed to. At this moment, lying in my bed," he was 56 years old when he passed away.
When did you go?
Huh? A couple years ago. And recalling my life, so much pride. But you cannot have someone do your doing to you. Material things, material, I just got it, let in front of you, look at it. You're in front of it. Material things lost can be found elsewhere, but there's one thing that can never be found when it's lost, which is life. Whichever stage in life you're in right now, with time, you will face the day when the curtains fall. Treasure love for your family, love for your spouse, love for your friends, treat yourself well and cherish others. As we grow older and hopefully wiser, we realize, he said at 3,000, I say 30,000, maybe 300,000, or a $30 watch. Demonstrating $3,000 a Shiur. Today, $100,000 a gunch. Ask Avishai. We realize that a 30,000 or a $30 watch both tell the same time. You'll realize that your time, that your true inner happiness doesn't come from material things in the world. Whether you fly first class or economy, if the plane goes down, you go down with it. Therefore, I hope you realize when you have mates, buddies, and old friends, brothers, sisters, who you chat with, laugh with, talk with, sing with, talk about north, south, east, west, heaven and earth, that is true happiness. Don't educate your children to be rich, educate them to be happy. So when they grow up, they know the true value of things and not their price. I don't know if this is part of the thing of whoever did it, figure like whoever did it. Eat your food as your medicine, otherwise you'll have to eat medicine as your food. The 6 best doctors in the world are sunlight, rest, exercise, diet, self-confidence, and friends. Maintain them at all stages and enjoy a healthy life. This is a hospital, I go, you realize, I got out of the world and got lunch. That's where it is, 56. Now let's get to the real thing. Tiger.
I heard the Miller Tzayf Yomov. I had to go to Shiur at the end of his life. The last week. Yeah. He always would stop at the back of his shul and just look at the sunlight.
He lived there.
He said, "Umotzek or Tovanan this Shemesh." He's talking about a person who's old. He has no other joys in life. Look at the sun and enjoy it. He spoke about it a lot.
He spoke about when a leaf falls down from the tree. I once heard him say, sometimes when it's raining outside, you'll hear a woman going up with a baby carriage and say, "Ugh, what a nasty weather. Ugh, they're just giving rain for everything to grow, for life to multiply." You say, ugh, you saw everything in a positive manner. Now, this week's parsha is very interesting. It talks about Sarah Imenu, about the Ketira, which was basically the 37 last years of her life since Akedah. Since Akedah. About the purchasing of Moras HaMachpelah. So the Chayre, you would try to understand where did Avraham Avinu know that that's the place. How did he know that that's the place? Adam Rishon and Chava were very big. So the Arba Zugas, the Adam Rishon and Chava, Avraham and Sarah, how did he know that that's the place? So in last week's parsha, it says, when he went, when Malachim came, he came to visit him. So he went he chased the Boker. Zog the Zohar Kodesh, that the Boker ran into the Moras HaMachpelah. He chased it all the way inside. When he got inside, Adam Rishon picked up his head and smiled. And he realized that that's the place. So he kept the secret for 37 years, didn't tell anybody. Imagine if he told someone that this is the place, they would never sell it to him. They would want it for themselves. So he kept the biggest secret, and when the time came, this week's parsha, he purchased it, the Kesef Moleh, and he made sure that everybody in town saw the deal, so they can't deny it. It was the best currency, crypto maybe, but the Maisa, he made sure that everybody knows that this was a done deal and they can't back out of it. Then we have the Maisa with the Shidduch. Avram sends his servant, his very loyal servant, Eliezer, to find a Shidduch for his son, for Yitzchak. So I once heard a shmuz from Simai Silverberg, and he said, it's very interesting that we see that on the way there, same day he had kids there, he left that same day and he arrived immediately the same day. On the way back, we say by 8, in the evening, if you had the Shidduch already, it should have been Mamash instant. What took so long? But the Nuchah is the remember from whom, but he said that sometimes a person davens a certain thing. And it gets to a point where he says, I'm davening, nothing is happening, so he gives up. But suppose he feels one more tefillah. And when that one tefillah happened, immediately the Yisrael Eina Bayar, the Nigmal and Boy, and so the Shidduch done. So it's Mr. Haskell to know that sometimes we daven and it doesn't happen. Don't have to give up. Big Havayel Hashem, Nachamu. So starting for the Shtikus Hosemet this week. Adoni Obi Zekunim Moyi Virabi Zechoin Zerubachim. It's Chudish Hadim. Tigi the Libra HaMedrash Asay Chesed Im Adoni Avraham. Eliezer was in the Spalo to the Eibishter. Asay Chesed Im Adoni Avraham. It comes to teach us that Af Avraham Avinu Olav HaSholem Shachesed Nizgaldu Ba'olam B'Shviloi. He was the Mekor HaChesed, all the Chesed in the world was in his chus, but even him, Nitzach l'Chesed, he also needed Chesed. V'ama af shel Eliezer hoya avda, v'lama hoya l'litzah z'masim toiv mischus Avraham Avinu. He himself was a tzaddik. Avraham Avinu l'Rishon Paul Ba'anoshov, he taught his Talmidim. Eliezer was his famous Talmud. He taught his people sheyedu zayis boru shegam l'Ish kamoyu. Even someone like Avraham Avinu, who is the epitome of Chesed, Nitzrach rak chaz be'yiborach. Ki emes havas chuya shel ha'odam nasim gankem Shiur elyon. All the chusim that a person has, the good things that a person does, the good deeds that a person does, you think that you're doing it on your own, that's also siyata d'shmai. That a person davens, does it as tzedakah, as chesed, If there's any mitzvah that it is, it's all chesed. As the Gemara says, the Yitzhar is so powerful that if not for the fact that the Eibush is helping him, he would never be able to conquer him. So I once saw a word from the Tzaddik HaKohen. He said, when I start davening, say Hashem Sefut HaTiktoch, say Hashem, open my mouth, my lips, Ufi Yagid Tehillah Sechel. I think I mentioned it once at the Shiur. He says, if my mouth, Yagid should say Tehillah Sechel, your Tehillah that you're going to say through my mouth. Because when a person is speaking, you have to realize that that's also Eibush. It's like it's a puppet show. It seems like we're doing something. But it's all Eibush. But it's Zoyce. Even Avraham Avinu, the whole chesed in the world is only in discourse. How it began, chesed elyon. Through the ma'asim that he did, he brought down chesed to the world. Sisa chesed im Adonai Avraham, appears penal. The Eibush brings down chesedim to the world. Them Tzuyas Avraham Avinu. It's galgo b'shviloi. Shviloi. The famous Taish was brought down from Bashem to the Nanda Tzadikim. That Shvila means the Shvil, the Tzinor. Like the Gemara says, that Chanid ben Doisef died with Kav Charuvim. That Kol Olam Nizoyim b'Shviloi. That the whole world gets chesed in his Shvil. He brings down through his Ma'asim Tovim, he brings down a pathway. The Shvil Yam Ken Aper Shkach Shos Avon Bin Al Shalom. Tzinor, the Shvil. So through his good deeds, through his Ma'asim Tovim, he brought down, he created the Shvil, a pathway for Chesed to come down on the world. Six the Tzadik Shem HaKadosh Shirim is also aiming for the Shirim. Dr. Azoy, the Tfil is Zipikish Eliezer. Who Yoda Shadab Kedai Bedin. So he was mispalo, I say Chesed Madoni Avraham, and he knew that he's worthy. Kein Avraham bin Avraham hoye Rebbe Toy. Ich bin agit Rebbe. The Hirnes HaToy v'lev Talmido she'ein le'odam klum el Tulboy le'yvor Shemoy me'akach Chesed. He doesn't owe us anything. He taught his Talmidim, and they were so sure and clear about this thing that nobody in this world is deserving of anything. Who could say Zakisi Masa? I'll call upon him. He was a very Gita Rebbe, and he taught his Talmidim they should know that we're not deserving of anything, but everything is chesed. That's what he says. I say chesed im Adonai Avraham. Hakkan Hashem Kodshu. Steht weiter in the Pasuk v'Omar El Adonai. He was speaking to the Mechatonim. He said, Ulai le'sei l'isha acharai. He said, if the woman will not want to come after me, can I go look somewhere else? The Ulai is usually written Aleph Vav Lamed Yud. And here it's written Chosek. A likes it. The Rashi, Bas Hoysel Eliezer, he had a daughter. When Mechazer Limse Ile, he tried to find a reason, a cause. She gave Avraham lived the Fanet Eilev Lasia Bitoy. He figured, he's not going to push it. And Mele is the problem that he's going to become the next one in line. And Avraham, no, my kid, the Niborah, my son, is benched. He was from the descendants of Shem. The Ato, he was the descendants of Canaan, Ato Orah. The Zayd, the Noach, that he Sholten. And Orah was that we were working. Dr. Sasemes, Adonai was including by Rabbi Zal Higi, B'Shem Rav HaKodesh Mikotz. Our lives, it's okay, lives, it's Chosek. If you're on a Geya, when a person's on a Geya B'Dover, but he gets Nigi Yosef, you don't feel the Nigi. A person's on a Geya B'Dover, you don't see the truth. Everything is repeated twice. When it happened, and then when he repeats it, this is what happened. I came to the Oyen, and I met this girl, and then he said, can you help? Can you serve me some water? I said, I will serve you, and camels. I said, when it was saying, he thought maybe, perhaps, he knew for sure. He knew that his boss, his Odom, Avraham Avinu, Hashem will give him what he wants. Like Yodeh, he was scared. Hashem Yiglam kilku b'shlichusoi. Maybe he's going to cause a kilku in the shlichus. But Hashem was darki. He said Hashem is darki. My way should be without Megillas. I should reach the tachlis that I've only been sent before. Here's what that's called. And when he repeated it again, he noticed that he had Megillas. And after he realized that he has Megillas, he moved himself from the Megillas and talked to his Mekayim Shlichus. The Gamma Yidei Shiyoda Yitol HaSlocha Hoy B'Schus Avram Avinu V'Sholem. Ashgam Hu Hoy Tzadik. But he knew that the Slocha that he's having is only because his Odom Avram Avinu V'Sholem. Dr. Sosemes V'Chein Kol Odom Tzorech Leida. Every person in the world has to know. To Shaliach Hashem Yisborach B'Olam Hazeh. We're Shluchim of the Eibishter. The Kefisha Yedei knows. As much as he knows it with clarity, everything that he does in this world, doing shlichus, and he realizes that he's only shlich of the Eibishter. And everything that he does is also because Hashem wants it to happen that way. If we realize that whatever he does, we're only a vessel, we're only a tool. But whatever we do in this world is from the Eibishter. I was talking to the Rav of Dover yesterday actually, talking about the Chashivas of Tfilas Mincha. This week's parsha we ate Soda, Beis Eder. Mincha. He was Yisroel, the Satan Tfilas Mincha. There are many interesting insights in this whole parsha. Why is Mincha so kosher? So he pointed out to me famous saying from the Shema Kodesh, and he showed me where it's written, and that's why I decided to bring it this week's parsha. Although parsha's Bolak, Vayar Bolak, Inyam Asher Bolak, Chora Kol Kach Nei Bnei Yisrael. Hajasholach Achrei Pilon. Why was Bolak so worried about Klal Yisrael? What was his fear? That when he brought Bilam, the guy said Mechasher was able to curse. Zemerumis Bakosed Gufa. Vayar Bolak saw, Magro, what did he see? It's Kol HaShos Yisrael Le'emoyri. Emoyri is Veloshna Amir, Veloshna Dibur, Veloshna Adar Be'inori, V'hain Melech Oilom. Shehakoi, Niru Dibur. Oh! Help the Moshe do. Moshe, come here. What's a moiri? He was scared of the fact that Klal Yisrael has such a koyach hadibur in tefillah. That's what he worried about. He was worried about the koyach hadibur that Klal Yisrael has. Torah and tefillah.
Where's Bullock come in?
I brought this piece because it's called it for us. I mentioned before.
I heard of David, the master of David.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the.
Okay.
Okay, I will be patient.
You lost focus.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was worried about the koyach hadibur of Klal Yisrael. I once saw a Moreh Gezach that says we say on the Har's level, Shami Shav Nagam Buchinu B'Zochenu Tziyun. So there's a message that says that when they took Klal Yisrael to go this bubble, they didn't let them cry on the way. The Mamish didn't let them. They were standing on top of them. If anybody cried, it's chapech. Shami Shav Nagam Buchinu. But when we got the bubble, they were worried. The Klal Yisrael was going to start crying to the Eibishter. It's going to be over. They'll go back. So they didn't let them cry. They had the koyach of tefillah and Klal Yisrael. Shom Yeshav and Gam Bechina, but when you arrived at the bubble, there must be lots of wine. So he says, Balak was worried. It's called Hashem Yisrael le'emoyri, the Amir v'dibur. Ein Mash Yisrael, oisim be'imre v'dibur, p'im v'teiru v'tefillah. V'chein v'yuga moyri v'nei ha'om. Om is Moshem Krivis, Moshem Gecholim Oinamois. When Gecholim, when do it till barbecue, and at the end, when it's already Shishin Kematnish called Oimamis. Even the ones who have lost their fire for the Eibishter became cold. Yoru, Balak, Ve'amoid, Ve'pochadu. Masha'ama Abba Moiri, the Chatzadik Kodesh Baruch L'chaim L'mavod, the Magid, the Chernobyl Magid. B'Shem Abba Hashem Tov, the Chatzadik Kodesh Baruch L'chaim L'mavod. That's the word that I wanted to bring out. Shegam Zehu is, listen to what Baruch Hashem Tov says, Moiri. Gam Zehu is Hamutrad Ba'asok of Kol HaYoim. He's busy against with the business. There's the bakery, there's the real estate, there's the office, there's the D&H. Everybody's doing his thing. The Shvoka B'Chol is like the Gassen. This guy's busy cooking food. The Kimatche Shocheach Shesh Bo Yoilim. He's so verklapt, so vernimmt with his business. Vergesst von der Eibishter. Ja? Like the Eish Megid Zman Tfilas Minche, and suddenly he says, Oi! Minche!
Hold on, that's a Shlomi goodness song, no? Is he not Kevin Davin and
It's not his song.
Yeah.
no, Shlomi goodness thing.
I think you have to start the piece again.
What?
I think you have to start it again.
Why?
Wow.
Oila Zichroino suddenly stimmt Minche Tzad Oila and she gives man Philip a Goneach and everybody Oi! His boineness, ich shipone kol hayom b'havli yoyim. Oy, a ganz verglichen mit narische business. Who wrote the Simta Achas, a lifted a gesel on the side, min atzad, and mispala minchen. Bechidus. Hagam she'en yidea klal mal medaber. Weiß kavod min yidea, versteht, is it li kavon. Weiß mis a zikon. Im kol ze, gam ze choshe b'yokam oy yidea moy yidea. Hashem tov. Va'anoche shaloi, the krechts that he gave, boikeya v'tir. ולכן יורד בולק ומויו גם אנושים האלו ידע כוח המורים. That's how this thing came into this two parshas.
Yeah, but the shala is that today, day and age, that it's the same, if we're in the same boat like that. Because in those days, Rosh especially was very into pulling in the Yid, and Taka he didn't have the whole financial to be in shul and this medrash like in those days. Wasn't like today.
And today's day we don't need it.
No, it sounds like to go chap and mincha today, we have such structure, as opposed to in those days, the Yidden,
But it's trying to bring out.
the Amarastim were very big, and if I didn't know how to learn it, forget about the whole thing. But Shem says, no, even if you go, you trek, and you manage, you're lost, like he says, you don't even know,
Perfect for today's day and age.
For the Chevra over the cliff, maybe, hello?
Hello.
The power of a Yiddish.
Halavai wenn es Shiur demokratisch ist mit Abend.
Yeah. Das ist wirklich nicht. Man kann sagen,
more than that.
man kann sagen,
Even if you're, if the man, oh, you're Minchen, stellst du eine Sache, chap da Minchen. Still kosher. In other words, don't look down at yourself.
like today I hear, what's the excuse going to be that you're not learning? Today you go into an iPhone, you go into any store, it's a candy store, there's no excuse. They have, I saw about a Tanya site that's like pushing it in your face. Which language you want? Don't tell me French. Here you go. Here's French. You want English? You want and there's so much pity. So what excuse are we going to really have?
But there's,
You know?
but there's so much distraction.
So the kid is so much more distraction.
So much distraction.
Yeah.
So much distraction today. People are busy with the shtissim, with the WhatsApps, with the high school,
That
the status.
That-
I keep on getting people send me, can you send me a phone number, I want to see a status. I don't have status.
yeah.
This is my status.
Yeah.
Avoid this is so, the Heilige Kodesh Magid. Kodesh Magid was born, his parents were very old, and they did a gewaltige chesed. I think his father was 80 years old when he was born. And that was, he was very weakly all his life. He was most of his life he was in bed. He was so schwach. Kodesh Magid. Kodesh Magid was one of the giants. Vayicha Yisrael, Pirshu B'Zer HaKodesh, Vayiyu B'Kematria Lamed Zayin. Make a cheshbon. 25 and 12 is 37. No?
All day.
What?
All day.
All day. Shehoy Iki Mechayim Yemois Shenoyla Yitzchak Ad Shemei Lamed Zayin Sholim, from when he was born until she passed away. 37 years, and that was the most choshev part of her life. He made some b'shas ha'kedek, shoy k'lam etzayim shoy k'noida. Well, b'kat tzichlenu, saying himself, Nilmud goy derech l'avoid Hashem Yisborach. V'yi yu b'gematria lamed zayin. Zayin lamed. K'she'adam nasa zol be'enav. When a person becomes humble, Hashem Ismarer b'leiv nishbal abenoisav, he realizes he halach abenoisav. U'v'rav b'leilis ha'aruchim, the long winter nights, ach chatzois, k'she'adam kam be'veisov, u'levado l'fnei boyor, he's alone with the Eibishter, u'maski asatzman achaya hevel l'asher chai, he suddenly realizes the shtusim of his life, v'shenoisav, avru, imanias avru. Honestly, I don't know what this word means. I tried to dissect it twice, but the rest of it I understand. The mensch, he realizes that his life is basically wasted. I think it's just an expression of it. Huh?
Ani is not a ship, only.
Yeah, a ship that passes by, the chayre. The fleet adog ship, you know? Well, I also nachasruach the yoisfer. I never did nachasruach, real nachasruach the David. Kilku, the Pogam, the Maisa, Marosha, Badaga, the Kobbis feast. Yoim Kotzov, our life is what 120 years, flies by like a lightning. V'apirid in the oilam memash meshubo. And saying goodbye to this world, what we read before, you'll read it when you go home. Steve Jobs.
I know, stop. Let's stop.
Well, it's in the cheshbon of Kol Goy Bashachai. And he'll have to give him a for every moment that he wasted in this world. By Dezeh, when he realizes he regrets and he bemoans his ma'asim. The boiche b'lev nishbach ne'ovish b'shemayim. By Dezeh, honas is zol mezilzel be'enav. He becomes cheapened in his own eyes. Becomes humble. To mili sag genau. The mili of sag. There are four shemas. Ab sag ma'abon. So the mili of sag is also lamadeh. And ba'amr b'libor shumaleh sigim. Sag is sigim. This is the waste, the abzats. The iketachos is not just to become broken. The tachos of doing the chesed nefesh, doing tshuva, is the from hand to shazan good, from today on I'll be good. The entire life, the tzaddikim, their entire life, they're waiting for that moment. Like the Seder Nachman said, that leaving this world, going into the other world, like going from one room to the other. He was prepared his whole life. The tzaddikim, they always think in their heart, as if this particular day, they always think today is the last day. And therefore, when they're going to be, and have the schus to go back to their roots. I don't know who Mem Aleph is. What do you think it is? Tzadik Mem Aleph. Maybe it means Moira Avi.
Who is his father?
Huh?
Who is his father?
Shapsa the Binder. Famous Tzadik. The story was that they were so poor that Mamish didn't have to make Shabbos. They didn't have food for Shabbos. So an old couple, he was 80 years old, he didn't have food for Shabbos. And he went to shul, and normal as if nothing happened. His wife, right before sitting left, she suddenly found one of old begodim, a diamond pin. She immediately ran Mach Shabbos to the rain, now I'm getting. He came home from shul, he saw the Kibbutz story. He asked what happened. She said, I found the diamond, I said, must beautiful Shabbos again. They both started dancing, the young couple, the 80-year-old couple, started dancing to Simcha for the Eibishter that he did such a mess with them. And that's chus, those come in Kriz and Shemayim, the Zichas and the kids all blocked in the road. And this is how you touch the Madi. So maybe it means Moiri Ovi, Ben Yatzad Moiri Ovi, Zech Yatzad Yiloch. And Shekol Shuk Kosor, Hoysel, reported by Mazeh Chumri, his whole desire was to leave this world V'lamed b'mekoyer HaKedusha, mebli levush ha-chomer ha'ov. The goof is called a chomer ha'ov. So the machvan for offer men Adonu, yeah? Achayin elu b'nei Adam. Asher vir behevli meim shnoisam ba'anocho. So also for the people who live the life in this world, was mekan of them git krechten. I can also know kaponim this oire v'loshe v'adach shelo techsher ha'shemesh. So that the economy is at least wake up now before the sun goes down. When a person realizes how low he is, he remembers his Averis, and then he gets a Frischkeit, an awakening to start from now on to do the right thing and not to fall back. Zion Lamed, canal. So when you realize that a person becomes zol be'enu, he becomes humble, that's chayesora. That becomes later. Meir Shon is beside a keser. And in each world there's esespheres, and the top one is keser. Keser is rotzen. We know that this Chal say all about it tzoyno libra olam. And the Eibush went all about it tzoyno when he suddenly wanted, whatever that means. But rotzen comes from keser. The rotzen that the Eibush had to create the world was in keser. So keser is rotzen. Meir Shona b'sada keser, because why is it meir? Because every sphere has, from the 10 spheres, has 10 within it. So it's 100. And Achat Tshuva b'schadish l'rotzen chodosh. After he does tshuva, he gets a new rotzen. Lavd Hashem v'rotzen nikri keser. V'achakach eslim shona. What's eslim shona? Shenechach b'moichin shloi lavd Hashem b'soyt chochma b'bino she'orim nikri l'tchum shir in the libo. V'zeh asol gidorim b'derech zeh v'zeh b'derech zeh l'sak nafsh shifes. So that's the eslim, because each one has 10. So chochma has 10 and bina has 10. So that's the 20. V'achakach b'midus sheva shonim and sheva midus. That the 7 midas from the Chochma Bina called Abba V'Imo. When there's a zivig of Abba V'Imo, it's Moides midas. The midas is Chesed, Word, Fes, Netach, Yisrael, Malchus, which is connected to Shiva Saroyim, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, and Yosef, Yudom. L'ham l'chavar el Bosh Moy, the Ahava, the Yire, the Sparis, the Mitzua, the Idoi, the Zapis, through all the midas of the Shiva Saroyim. Loi kein the Rishoyim got. The Rishoyim are not that way. They should toch mir oisanein. The eyes are baklept. Ubachol yoyim hoyle v'chosa v'nichras nafsha v'boides b'ok shemoy v'mar b'lifshoya hacha bigoyd lavay noisov nasa ki ibre memashik b'afeli becomes mamish blinded and doesn't even realize what he's doing. He's a chetal peshal, he's tzadik be'enim, he thinks halt noch fag, he's a tzadik. Damas beruch hoy shoy v'goyro, and that's a chaim, I'm a big tzadik. V'shoychecha aveli shoyse V'zoichem mitzvahs kalish oise b'li kavona. And there's a few mitzvahs that he does b'li kavona, and that he remembers. V'adrabah, Niyas, U'machshav v'zoros, and v'apash alein schal kepinches. Mitzvahs titzah zeh shvach amaises, v'apash schal kepinches. V'zeh motzinu nishma. I've seen this and I've heard this. Miroshe, shem ispor v'zeh aloshen. So I once heard somebody saying, Baruch Hashem, Einachti Talutin Tfilin, Ispalalti, Yomari Tehillim, Umamodoy, Ulamati Perek Mishnayis, Unesati Grutu Lizdoke, Mi Kamoni Tzadik Yosha. That's the Chacham Chatzadik Ocha. He did all the things, but you know, it's like the
Baal Shem Tov said before, is only if he follows it with the tshuva.
Yeah, rather. But I mentioned that to Chacham, like the Gemara says, you have to thank the head by Moedim, the bows down automatically. Automatic pilot. Like somebody once was davening one of the tzaddikim, and when they finished Shmones, they said, Shalom Aleichem, we came to you, where did you just arrive from? Yeah. Amik Kamoni Tzadik V'Yosher. V'zeh shenamar b'aftoyre b'adoniya ben Chagis, v'snas leim ani emrech. Adoniya was one of the children of the Melech. And he has Chaingelet that he's going to become the next king. And Sha'ani, Malchus Aboyer, He figured that he's so holy, he's in control of the world. He's about so in the book of Brief, then Mila Dibur Simcha, Show the Hashem, Show the Samech, Bela Mazeh, Batil Vishtir. Veruchel Anitla Bikibor, Adrab, Hoil Chakatavos Hasha, it's in Roigo, Meloshen, El Dogal al Lishoinoi. The Heine, the Ruchai Hagavoyim, because it's a Gehalten Größen. Mila Kreisai Begroinoi, the Shoinoi Yachid, the Dabalishon Horrors, because he feels himself, he feels himself such a big shot, so he speaks Lashon Hara. U'matl doichel mum b'kodeshim, davar al yirei Hashem. So he has the chutzpah, because he feels that he feels it's so important, he has the chutzpah to speak about tzaddikim, real tzaddikim. Davar al yirei Hashem, v'hem letzonei ador. This is the late in the Torah, like we see many times. He macht them aus tzaddik, nothing that way. Omnam ha'hepech mizeh, v'yiskav is like Hashem kenal, v'yadei shemisham v'yikivoy. The truth of the matter is that a person has to become humble and broken inside. The fact that he realizes who really is, that brings him closer to the Eibush. Either way, my Rebbe the Chasadik of Rocha, we didn't have a story this week. My Rebbe the Chasadik of Rocha used to drink every Thursday night, l'chaim. He fasted a whole day, he fasted a whole week. He davened every day, he said, Anenu B'mincha. He fasted for 50 years, he fasted every single day. But every Thursday night, after Ma'ariv, we drink l'chaim.
It was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Whenever it was, yeah. It wasn't by Tessik Chover, no.
Yeah.
No, but he had...
I daven mincha at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I davened at 2 o'clock in the morning, sure. So he used to drink l'chaim and say as follows. Es Chizken goes from Shulam Shachna, the Heilige Rishon is Futer, father of the Heilige Rishon, the Mazurch is on the Heilige Shabbos. Speak of l'chaim, and he said that the Heißen that for Tishin Bank. Chassidim Gitash, Tishin Bank, he went on the Heilige Tishin, is a bank Shach Sudai Bishta. That was every Thursday night. Then he said, Schiz, Fin Yisroel and Per, because it's a Magid, we just learned this Torah, that alle Krank Rum Arfi Shalayim. That was a daily, we speak Thursday night l'chaim. So if you have somebody that needs, oh wow. By the way, I bought a beautiful plant that somebody needed in their home.
What?
No, vodka. Vodka with a stay. So let's see, we have another
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
It's live.
What else do we have here? Let's say the last piece. We started. Maybe we'll go back to what we have. Time we have left. We started the Heilige Psudik HaKoyim L'Blin. Medisha Al-Parshas B'Shteit Azoi. Der Bekiva von Yoishi B'Doidish. Bekiva Gehalten Hadrusha. But Tzibur Misnamnem. He saw that the Oilam is falling asleep, like we see by many Shiur.
Not here.
Not here, Hashem. But you see, some you can look at the Shiur and some people are falling asleep. Biggish Lo'ir, he wanted to wake them up. Again, Doilim Sluf. Avrum Yus Master. Biggish Lo'ir. So what did he do? Omar, he said as well. Maar Esther, Shetim Lechal Kuf Chuv Zayin Medina. El Tovay Esther, she bas bito shel Sore, shoyse Kif Rechov Zayin. And that woke them up. But suddenly he changed, he said like low, talking about Esther, Sore, what's going on here? V'yesh lahovin, Dr. Heiliger Tzudik. Lama bo lo'ir atzibur b'hagod uzu dafkin. What is Mapiton? What's up? He was speaking Divrei Kabbalah l'chayr, Hoy Chazakim, But they couldn't follow him, so they started dozing off. They thought that he's talking such things, I don't understand his stuff. So automatically he fell asleep. But Derech Mashim is by, it says in the Pasuk, Romois le'evil chochmas. Evil is a shoiter. A shoiter, when it comes to chochmas, he thinks Romois, it's too high for me. It's over my head. וביקש לו עירון, שידע שכל אחד מישראל שייך אף לדברי תורה הגבוהים. He wanted to wake them up to understand and to realize that even the דברי Torah you think is very high, it's for everyone. כמו שנאמר בתורה נדבר אליהו, כל אחד ואחד מישראל חייב לומר מוסא יגיעו מייסאי ומייסא אברהם יצחק ויעקב. Every portion to eat has to say to himself, when will I come to a level to reach the avoided and avoid mitzvah Yaakov? I mean, really? Seriously? Yes. Said from the beginning of Shishcha, he said, the Moshe Yigiu myself as Chach Anagir. Chach Anagir. Of course, I'm not going to reach the level of avoid mitzvah Yaakov. But Chach Anagir. V'hainu, shkol echad miYisrael ki mishum mizera ha'ovos. We have it in our DNA, whether we like it or not. It's part of us. יש בכוחי להגיע באיזה פרט למעשה אבויסו. וכמו שכלך מישראל חי ולא מוסר הגיע מעשה אברהם יצחק ויעקב, כן הנושים הקשיירוס, our spouses, our holy spouses, חיובס לומר מוסר הגיע מעשה אמויס. שהם נוטו בלב זרם, שיוכל כל אחד ואחד מישראל להסתייע בעבודת האבויס והאמויס, ושיובל התאר. A person wants to get there, every male and every female can come to that level to have a shaykhis with a Roman Siyam. Male, you let him Israel, lives in Mokoim, but the Betel Hagavoyim, the Yuchel, the Tzapa is Mosa, Yigir, Masa, Kaponim, there is a prat, the Maisa, Voisa,
And he did.
Nani Merkashai.